Hello and welcome. My name is Kyle Nielsen, and this is How You Level Up, a podcast where I ask questions to help you become your best self. Today we ask, what is reciprocity? What is reciprocation? What we're talking about today is the social behavior between people. So let's start on a fundamental definition. The definition of reciprocity, reciprocation, reciprocal, is a mutual or cooperative interchange of favors or privileges. It's an alternating back and forth movement, a mutual giving and returning. When you greet someone, do you lift up your hand and shake theirs? If so, you have initiated the reciprocal greeting of handshaking. And if they reciprocate by lifting their arm, you will perform the action of shaking hands together. That's all well and good, though the meat and potatoes of reciprocity involves a sense of obligation to repay kindness or assistance received from others. This concept of reciprocity is fundamental to fields such as psychology, economics, and sociology, as it plays a significant role in shaping social relations, even influencing human behavior when used strategically. With reciprocity, there is an expectation that a favor will be returned at a later time, and this is why researcher Dr. Robert Cialdini's first principle of persuasion is reciprocity. Humans have a desire for balance and equality, meaning people don't like feeling indebted to others and will be driven to settle social obligations. For example, if someone holds the door for you when walking into a building, you will feel this compelling pull to hold the next door for them if it's close by. It's a simple way to even the score. In one study conducted by several McDonald's stores in South America, balloons were handed out to children. For half, balloons were handed to the children upon walking out of the restaurant, after their parents had already purchased food. The other half of the children were given balloons when they walked into the restaurant, before their parents purchased food. For those parents who had kids receive their balloons upon walking in, they purchased 25% more food. Included in this increased purchase was 20% more coffee for the parent, which means that reciprocity not only applies as, thank you for this thing, here's a thing in return. It also applies as, thank you for giving my child a thing, here's a thing in return. If you receive a mint from your waiter when they hand you the bill, if a workshop facilitator offers you cookies when asking for feedback, if a company has a team outing before issuing engagement surveys, if a detective gives you donuts and coffee before questioning you, if you are offered a drink when walking into a jewelry store or a high-end retail shop, the goal is to initiate reciprocity. Essentially, these actions communicate, I've done something for you, now you do something for me. Here's a step-by-step example of natural reciprocity in action between two people. And for our example here, we can presume that both of these people are good in nature, meaning that we presume neither individual is seeking to influence reciprocity consciously. We have Mary. She bakes a cake and shares a slice with John. She tells him that she baked it for a party, but there was too much left over. John thanks Mary for the slice of cake and compliments her baking skills. He tells her that he enjoys cooking too and invites her to a barbecue he's planning for the weekend. Mary accepts the invitation and brings a dish to share at the barbecue. During the barbecue, John then introduces Mary to some of his friends, and she enjoys meeting new people in the neighborhood. A few weeks later, John is going out of town and asks Mary to water his plants while he's away. Mary agrees to help and asks John if he needs anything else taken care of. John thanks Mary for the help and brings her a souvenir from his trip when he returns. That's the end of the example. There is a back and forth here without anyone deliberately doing so of reciprocity. Is it necessary to break down every step of every relationship or every budding friendship? No, it's not necessary. Because this behavior is just how friends are expected to act and treat one another. The benefit of making note and pointing out each moment of reciprocity is that we can clearly see reciprocity helps to build and strengthen relationships by fostering trust, gratitude, and a sense of community. Reciprocity is helpful in culture and society because it allows people to cooperate. It allows people to know that when I do this thing for you in the future, you're going to do something for me. And this leads to thriving communities. In this sense, reciprocity is an inherent human quality and can be traced back to the earliest human societies. It's generally true that generosity begets generosity, and reciprocity is a rhythm in the negotiation dance. Skilled negotiators will find a way to give something to the person or party they are negotiating with. Now, whether or not these skilled negotiators know about the research, we know that when someone gives us something, we are more likely to feel positive towards them. When thought about then, in terms of negotiation, reciprocity is not about repaying others for what they have done for us. It's about initiating actions that can help build and strengthen our relationships. Said differently, negotiation reciprocity is not about giving back, it's about giving first. Though, of course, it's important to avoid overdoing yourself, as you can negate the effectiveness of the approach. Potential downsides around reciprocity are over-obligation. If someone is feeling obligated to repay someone else and doesn't want to or cannot afford to repay them, there are negative consequences. The feeling that someone is taking advantage of us will ensure that whoever is expected to repay through action or other means will be uncomfortable and will build resentment. The downside of reciprocity applies to unequal exchanges, it applies to manipulation, and it will strain any relationship. Another downside is violating reciprocity. People who are consistently taking without giving anything in return are often seen as selfish and untrustworthy. This reputational damage can lead to others in a social group disliking you and avoiding you. And reciprocity has in-group bias. In-group bias is when tribalism grabs the reins of reciprocity, where people are more likely to offer favors or gifts to those who are within their own social group rather than outsiders, thereby creating internal reciprocity circles which exclude and discriminate against others. You can think of groups of people who only purchase from people they identify with, people who hold their same worldview, or people who consciously and deliberately avoid outgroups. So to conclude here, reciprocity plays a vital role in shaping human behavior and social interactions. Through promoting a sense of obligation to repay kindness, reciprocity enhances trust, builds stronger relationships, and fosters a more cooperative and supportive society. While the concept of reciprocity has been explored in various fields of study, its application in everyday life is profound. It is also powerful enough to have been identified as one of these 7 principles of persuasion and influence that we're going to look at. By better understanding reciprocity, we can begin to navigate our personal and professional relationships with more awareness. So, take a moment to ask yourself, when was the last time you were in a reciprocal exchange? Who initiated it? What was exchanged? And how might you use reciprocity to build stronger relationships in your life moving forward? Thank you for listening to another episode. If you're enjoying the show, open up the app you're listening to this on and hit the like or subscribe button and give a 5-star rating. At least twice a week, you'll find a new episode asking you a new question, so you can strengthen your emotional independence, improve your communication skills, and upgrade your personal philosophy. So if there's a question you'd like me to dive into next, send it to any of these social media accounts connected in the show notes here. This is all about how you level up.